You're free for a tenner. Why,
Flowers. We give them to each other to express our most powerful feelings.
Oh, wow.
From passionate love to abject apology,
3 bunches of tenner.
from joyful celebration to profound grief, they mark the most important moments in our lives.
They're amazing. They're so beautiful. Here in the UK, we spend over £1 billion every year on one of the most fragile and beautiful things on the planet, flowers. But where do they come from and how do they get here?
Millions of men and women all over the world work to bring these flowers into our homes. The beating heart of the world's cut flower business is a market like no other. A vast complex the size of Monaco that draws billions of flowers from around the globe for the buyers that do battle with each other in what's known as the Wall Street of flowers.
I've been given exclusive access to the largest flower market on Earth at one of the busiest times of the year to follow the truly extraordinary journey of flowers.
I'll be joined by Simon Lycett, florist to celebrities and the royal palaces.
Flowers knock some of the rough edges off life and make it a whole lot more enjoyable for many, many people.
This is the miraculous story of how 3 of our most loved flowers, the rose, the lily and the tulip, are bred,
That's the stamen.
This is the statement.
That is massive.
grown,
I could nearly cry. I work with these on a daily basis and I've never seen them in such quantity, and they
transported thousands of miles in just 48 hours to arrive pristine and beautiful for us to share them with the people who matter most. It's the most beautiful race against time. Our second most loved flower, the lily, is also sold here in huge quantities. Mentioned in the Bible and associated with the Virgin Mary, the lily became the symbol of purity and chastity. The white lily in particular is given at funerals to symbolize the innocence of the soul. The regal lily, with its trumpet-shaped flowers, was brought to Britain from China in 1903. Today, the oriental varieties are the best-selling lilies in the UK. Many of these travel through the Dutch markets, where almost 300 million lilies are sold each year. Just like Dutch rose growers, the lily growers in Holland face increasing competition from countries with warmer climates and lower labour costs. To keep their market share, the Dutch are having to find cheaper ways to grow high-quality flowers. I've come to Rijnsburg to meet a grower who has totally transformed his business by investing 10 million euros on cutting-edge technology.
I've always imagined flower growing to be a traditional and labour-intensive business, but I'm about to meet a grower who's using a high-tech system to produce some of the best lilies in the world. This glasshouse is vast. It's the size of 16 football pitches, but the most astonishing thing is that the lilies are moving. I'm surrounded by an army of marching flowers.
This is the cutting edge of flower growing, developed to feed the market's insatiable hunger for lilies. In the UK alone, we import over £50 million worth of lilies each year. Half of the lilies grown in the Netherlands end up in the UK. 3 vast greenhouses cover over 20 acres and are filled with 16,000 moving beds of lilies growing under artificial sunlight. An entire ecosystem created to defy nature and grow the perfect lily 365 days a year. With a staff of just 18 people, it's almost entirely automated, and the only moving thing you'll see when you walk through here are lilies. Paauw Lilies was founded almost a century ago, and managing director Wim Jan Paauw is the third generation of his family to grow lilies. He's brought me to see the first stage of the process.
Whoa. Oh my God. Wow.
So this is our stock of fresh, clean peat moss.
Why is it steaming?
Because of the steaming process, we sterilize the soil. We heat the peat up to 100 degrees. Because during the growth of the last crop, you have some harmful bacteria, and with steaming it, you kill those. And then we can reuse it again.
Don't you kill all of the nutrients in the soil?
No, they're still in it. That's not a
Still
problem.
in there?
No.
So this soil is clean, it's going to give you the best
That's the
results.
way. Yeah, yeah.
The soil is made up of peat moss from the Baltic states, chosen because it's lightweight, suits the mobile growing trays and the lilies, which like good drainage. Every day, around 150 tons of it pass through this plant to be recycled after each crop is harvested. The temperature of the steam is controlled to make sure any bacteria growing in the soil are killed. After cooling down for 3 days, it's ready for planting.
So here we do the planting. So as you can see, this is a medium-sized bulb, and depending on the variety, we place a number of bulbs in the crate. And the reason is we still do it by hand, is that the bulb has to face up.
You try.
Okay, can I have a go?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do them
Every time 2 hands.
all up.
Every time
Two hands. Okay, why 2 hands? Why 2
More
hands?
efficient.
Okay. So where are these grown? Where'd you get these from?
We buy the bulb from bulb growers, and every bulb gets only 1 stem. And the bigger the bulb is, the more flowers it gives per stem.
Is this a big bulb?
This is the extra large size, yeah.
This is an extra large. And how many flowers would you
At
expect
least
from that?
5, 6.
10 lily bulbs are planted in each crate and then moved out into the first of 3 glass houses. Each one has its own carefully controlled microclimate. The temperature, lighting, and irrigation are all regulated by a central computer. This system produces stunning lilies in just a third of the time it would take if they were grown outdoors.
They go through 3 phases. This is the first stage over there.
Okay.
And then they come to this greenhouse. They stay about a month in this greenhouse.
Yes.
And after 2 months, so when they're 2 months old, they go to the last greenhouse when they start flowering. So they have different climate zones for different growing periods.
How interesting. So you're recreating the seasons.
Yeah, in the beginning they like more springtime, so more cold. And,
Yes.
and this is the summertime, so here we need lots of lights and temperature. And at the end we need to cool it down a little bit to get the good quality.
The computer tracks the location of each tray, moving it through the glass houses and seasons to maturity. Once the lilies are close to flowering, they are moved into the central hub, where human skills are still needed.
So after 3 months they come here in the hub, but the problem is they're not all finished at the same time.
Okay, so how can you tell? Because to me these all look
The guys
same.
who are doing the harvesting, they have so much experience that they know exactly which one to pick. They just pick out the ones which are ripe enough.
So for example, which one is ready and which one
You
isn't?
can see this one is start coloring, and probably this will pick this one,
Okay.
but this is still too green.
Right, so it's actually nothing about how tall they are, because those two are almost the same.
It's just this
It's
ones
just the
need
colour.
another 3-4 days before it have to be ready.
Traditionally, workers have to go out into the huge glass houses to harvest the flowers. But here, the lilies come to them. This has increased production by 15% without increasing the workforce, which has stayed at just 18 people.
How many stems are you cutting every day?
We do about between 40 and 50,000 stems a day.
That's absolutely incredible. How much does that equate to a year?
Yeah, we do about 10 million stems a year.
10 million.
Yeah, correct.
Once the lilies are cut, they're off to be graded. Each stem is sorted by number of flowers and bunched. Finally, they're wrapped, and within just a minute of being cut, they're back in the water.
So these are ready now to go
This ones are ready to go to the auction. Yeah.
So it's that quick?
Yeah.
So they're cut, sorted, packed,
Yeah.
sold at auction,
Yeah. In ships.
transported
Yeah.
to England
Yeah.
in 24 hours. So tomorrow night,
Yeah.
these lilies could be on someone's kitchen table.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we work for. Yeah.